another BMW. 2007 BMW X5 E70 4.8 V8 and its disaster. So first I already started working on the car, and second I sold my BMW Z4, which is, I don't know, it turns out a pretty good deal. We're gonna talk about it in a different video, and I'm gonna have the separate video. Thanks BMW Z4 E89, it was a beautiful car. We still have a whole bunch of projects or videos coming to the channel about the E89, so stay tuned and, subscribe, I guess. Subscribe! Whole bunch of things, interesting things. What the heck is that machine right here? Let me know in the comments below. What is that? There are a whole bunch of parts, and the worst thing about this car, which is the transmission, it shifts really bad. We're gonna be disassembling and changing the oil bridge, the mechatronic bridge, and the valves. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of videos. We have whole bunch of messages on the car, which we're gonna check it out today and see what are we dealing with in terms of messages and problems and check engines, right? There is no check engine, by the way, and the engine working, perfect. I don't know, I don't want to say anything bad about this car. It's a beautiful car, but not in this condition, not in this state. It's not beautiful at all right now. Every single piece of plastic is falling out, something is broken, some stuff was just damaged to the point like you think, is it even real? Like, what possibly you can do with the car to get to that state? And I'm sorry, but it just, it's a luxury car and you're buying it to appreciate the ride, and just, it's just that feeling whenever you getting into the inside of even the X5. Why I said even the X5, because it's utility vehicle, it's not for everybody, but it's luxury and it's really nice. And I love the X5. Like the concept of X5, it's one of my favorite, I would say. Okay, let's skip that and get to the checking the messages. Then we're gonna test drive it. I'm gonna show you what is the transmission doing. Also, as you've seen, we have a whole bunch of plastic rambling around. And the last thing what I wanted to tell you before we're gonna get into checking out the things that is wrong with this car. I purchased it for $3,600. Good price for 2007, by the way. I didn't mention the 140,000 miles on the tachometer. That's kind of okay. So $3,600, it's okay deal. Like, I would consider it a deal if the transmission would be working just fine. If not, that would be suck. Because I'm not quite in position to changing or replacing the transmission, which is not that big of a deal as well. But I don't have a garage, and that makes things pretty hard. Anyway, let's start her up. Let's listen for that engine sound. By the way, battery is dying, so that's where you've seen this hesitation. Also, AC wasn't working, and previous owner mentioned it in the listing that the AC is working perfectly nice, like blasting frozen, cold, whatever, ice, blasting ice. It wasn't working. So I recharged it, I used the sealant for the AC, and it seems to be working. Actually, I tested yesterday, I don't know, might be overnight. I lost all of the Freon, so we're gonna test it out right now. Besides that, X5 have a pretty common problem with the steam valves, as well as transfer line, the coolant transfer line. Those issue doesn't seem like exist in this particular car, since it's not smoking or anything. It works, like I said, perfecto. Lights, everything has to be restored. Bumpers, the plastic, all that stuff is gotta be fixed. Then heads-up display, which is I have crazy idea. A lot of people mention that you gotta spend $2,000 to $3,000 to install one of those on the one that doesn't have the heads-up display. And I wanted to bust that myth. I have a bunch of parts, the oil pan, the transmission oil pan right there. Also some other spare parts, kind of minor stuff, plastic, some more stuff. So in more stuff, I have some oil, transfer case oil, engine oil, and transmission oil, as well as the oil pan and some of the seals. A mechatronic body gonna goes down. That's gonna be epic. I hope so. I hope they're gonna fix everything, because the bridge, that's the main component that is actually makes your car shifting kind of smooth. Yes, this car is not exception, and we're gonna be selling it as well sooner or later. Also, you're gonna be able to purchase this car after we're gonna be done with it. Like I said, I wanted to make it for the reason it has cooled comfort seats. Oh, so comfortable, but that hole in the middle of your, you know, that's the G-spot. It just does not respond to, oh, okay. Like I said, it's falling apart completely. Basta disaster. All right, first, if we're going to go into the drive, nothing happening. Reverse, quiet. It was a little hesitation. The lines are moving, everything kind of working. The parking distance control doesn't work. AC is blasting pretty darn cold. So, drive the car. So we are in the drive. And it was like a little hesitation. I would say it's hitting whenever it's turning the gear on, and when it's lowering the gear as well. But in terms of transmission slipping, it does not slip. It looks like it's shifting on the tachometer just fine. Let's do a little bit of the speed up. Also, as you can see, there was banging. Gong was going crazy because the passenger seat belt was on. Engine working smooth. There's no jumping in terms of, or juggling in terms of RPM. I'm really liking that stuff. It's totally worth a 3600. But if the transmission would be bad, I think that still would be too expensive. Read out vehicle data. In this case, the app going to connect to the car and download all the data by itself. You don't need to put the VIN down. Okay, and you guys can see pretty much every single module have a problem. Let's check briefly the messages we have it right now, and we'll see what is going on after we're going to delete the messages. AUC, which is the AC sensor, which sits under the hood. WTG, transfer case oil wear, which approximately pops up at 100,000 miles. It needs to be reset. I have the oil for the transfer case, and that's going to be replaced. So this one is not a problem. Engine switch off. Also, we have a whole bunch of messages in terms of battery, because the battery is dying. Then telephone control module. One of the KCAN lines could be damaged, as for example this one, KK communication fault, the cast. And that's why we have such problems with multiple systems. But satellite, wire ultrasonic sensor, rear, central, left, parking distance control. I do have a sensor, controller, joystick. It does not work at all. Active seat motor. Have no idea why it's up. Everything is working. That shouldn't be a problem. I need just a simple reset. Brake light left faulty. Yes, indeed, it does not work. I know how to fix that. We're going to be doing that on the video. Rear fog lamp, light adaptive brake light left faulty. That's what we're going to be doing as well. Beside that, we have another one of receiving integration. Let's delete the faulty memory. Let's press yes. And after that, we're gonna start resetting everything as far as we could, because main portion of the problems in the BMW is actually the modules, and the modules have their own computers, and most of the time those modules need separate reset beside the deleting memory. So I did let the car to sleep, fall asleep, open up, pop the key, starting the engine. Let's do it again. We'll see what we can do in terms of some of the problems. Or ultrasonic, control joystick, this one we cannot get rid, that one blah blah blah. Most of those are going to be fixed internally, which is the lights, FRM. This one going to be simply resetted. I don't want to reset it yet until I'm going to replace the transfer case oil. For right now, what I also wanted to do is reset the adaptation on a transmission. So let's go into the vehicle management, service functions, powertrain, transmission, display and reset adaptation value. That's just the basic adaptation. Communication with the transmission control unit is now tested. Okay, let's test it out. Communication is okay. Continue. Adaptation value. Clutch B, C, D. Apparently we have quite a few, the values are really high. If that's the case, resetting the transmission value helps to restore the delivery status of transmission in response to problem being reported. Display existing adaptation value. Let's press continue. Important, the adaptation value will be reset in next step. Adaptation value were reset successfully. Display existing adaptation value and everything at 0. We wanted to end the service function. Press the continue, and we're gonna try to test drive it, see how the transmission is operating. Adaptation definitely helped a lot. It shifts smooth, but there's still a little bit of hesitation. Maybe it's me. Nope, it's actually shifting really smooth. But you did see in the values, and the values was like extremely high and low. It actually shift perfectly nice. So the adaptation adjustment will be applying in next 10 or 20 miles or something like that. So I have to moderately drive it. Anyway guys, it was amazing experience in terms of what Insta and INPA can do. Simple reset, simple adaptation, and we got rid of most of the problem. Anyway, I'm gonna be replacing a whole bunch of pieces in the future. For right now, I'm not gonna be posting much in terms of the X5. I wanted to finish the Z4 E89, and that's gonna be my main concern or position. After I finish with Z4, I'll start posting the X5. Besides that, I wanted to make a different approach in terms of the interior, and wanted to try make this car nice on a budget. And as far as I can, we'll see how it goes, but I already spent quite a bit, and we'll see how much is there quite a bit and what we gonna be ends up with. With that being said, I see you in the next one.